5 nights. ILCA, show up. Or stay stuck.
Punch that clock till your spirit goes dead. Tired of surviving while they stay ahead. I'll see you drop the code, 5 nights, no fee. Crypto knowledge in the dark, turn your faith to VIP. What's a wallet, what's a block, how you guard that key? 5 hours of truth so your mind breaks free. Free book, 10 lessons straight to your phone. Just show up and watch your legacy grow. 5 nights or never, will you rise or fall? Turn your fears to gold. No cost, just courage. Come reclaim the thrones. 5-night challenge. Build your future of your own. Brandon left that cubicle, now we lead the revolt. Show you how to move when the scammers assault. Buy it, stash it, flip it, hold. ILCA teach the game they never told. Beginners to vets, you belong in this fight. Hackers in the dark, we bring the light. 5 nights, running it's your only shot. Show up or forever stay locked in that spot. 5 nights or never, will you rise or fold? 1 hour in the shadows, turns your fears to gold. No cost, just courage, come reclaim the throne. 5-night challenge, build your future of your own.
No fee, no selling. Just truth and transformation. 5 nights, 1 destiny.
5 nights or never, our keys are key. Come break your chains and build your legacy. From broke to brave, we'll show you how to fight. 5-day challenge, show up and ignite. Show up
Or stay broke.
Show up.
Or stay broke.
ILCA, 5 days. Let's shine.
Tired of that paycheck running your fate. Wanna level your life, but you're stuck at the gate. 5 nights, no cost, that's the ILCA plan. Crypto from beginner to a wealthy new man. What's a wallet, what's a chain, how you keep it secure? Bitcoin for beginners drop, game so pure. 10 free lessons, just click and arrive. Come alive in the night, let the knowledge survive.
1 hour, 5 nights, come reclaim your mind. Money to casa, queen connectress, leading you to shine.
Show up and shine, I'll taste the way.
5-day challenge, gonna change your day.
1 click, no fee, let your future align.
Show up, come grow your mind.
5 nights, unlock your high. Crypto skills for an endless time.
ILCA, education divine.
Show up and shine.
From Brandon Ivey's journey out that 9 to 5 to the river of money where we really thrive. Queen connectress, she connect the dots, guiding every soul to the crypto spots. Learn how to move, secure and tight. Flip that fear into future sight. Beginners or pros, everybody can win. 5 nights free, let the elevation begin. So 1 hour, 5 nights, step into the zone. ILCA, the family, you'll never stand alone. Yeah. Show up and shine, I'll take
Casa, the Queen Connectress.
Juanita Casa, the Queen Connectress.
Gather your power.
ILCA got next.
Show up and shine, ILCA. 5-day challenge, don't you delay. No free book, free game. Watch your life refine. Show up and shine. Show up and
shine. 5 nights, Queen Connectress, ILCA. Shine on. ILCA, 5 days. Let's shine.
Tired of the paycheck, running your fate. Wanna level your life, but you're stuck at the gate. 5 nights, no cost, that's the ILCA plan. Crypto from beginner to a wealthy new man.
What's a wallet, what's a chain? How you keep it secure? Bitcoin for beginners, drop game so pure. 10 free lessons, just click and arrive. Come alive in the night, let the knowledge evolve. Now 5 nights, come reclaim your mind.
So money to Casa Queen Connectress, leading you to shine.
Show up and shine, ILCA's the ways. 5-day challenge, gonna change your days. 1 click, no fee, let your future line. Show up, boss up, come grow your mind.
5 nights, unlock your claim. Crypto skills for an endless time.
ILCA, educate your divine. Show up and shine, show up and shine. From Brandon Ivey's journey out that 9 to 5 to the river of money where we really thrive.
Queen Connectress, she connect the dots. Guiding every soul to the crypto spots. Learn how to move, secure it tight. Flip that fear in the future sight. Beginners or pros, everybody can win. 5 nights free, let the elevation begin.
1 hour, 5 nights, step into the zone.
ILCA is the family, you'll never stand alone.
Show up and shine, ILCA's the ways. 5-day challenge, gonna change your days. 1 click, no fee, let your future align. Show up, boss up, come grow your mind.
5 nights, unlock your climb. Crypto skills for an endless time.
ILCA, educating divine. Show up and shine, show up and shine.
Money to Casa, the Queen Connectress. Gather your power. ILCA got next.
Show up and shine, ILCA's the ways. 5-day challenge, don't you delay. Free book, free game, watch your life refine. Show up, hey, show up and shine.
5 nights,
Queen Connectress, ILC. Show up and shine.
5 nights,
Queen Connectress, ILC. Show up and shine. LC, 5 days, let's shine.
Step into the future, it's calling you. 5 days to know what the pros all do. Bitcoin's a spark, but the fire is wide. Crypto and blockchain, now's your ride. Money the Casa, the Queen Connectress. Unlocks the doors to your success.
ILCA, Blocks are building the world unseen. Currency flowing like a digital stream. Beginners welcome, no need to fear. Marnita's wisdom will make it clear. 5 days to shift, 5 days to grow. Dive into knowledge, let the future show. The Queen Connectress, she's your guide. Step by step to the crypto side. 5 days to change from a novice mind to a whole new range. Learn the keys, unlock the chain. Crypto's your path, no need to explain. Is all in days.
In the dark, opportunity calls.
9 to 5 got you stuck in a loop you hate. Paycheck dreams with a heavyweight. Crypto whispers like a secret in your mind. ILCA saying come, lead that grind.
What's blockchain? What's the key? Where you hide your gold? 5 nights of wisdom, watch your future unfold. Free book for your start, 10 lessons to begin. 1 hour a night, that's when the shift sets in.
Show up in the shadows, let your light be known.
5-day challenge where your power's grown.
No cost, just courage, step into the flame.
ILCA forever, come and change your name.
Wallet security, hackers at your door. We train your mind so you don't fall anymore. From Brandon's leap out of 9 to 5 pain to a world where your money starts to rain. Beginners or vets, everybody can shine. Long as you show up when it's learning time. 5 nights in the dark and you'll never be the same. Crypto in your heart with a brand new lane.
Show up in the shadows, let your light be known.
5-day challenge where your power's grown.
No cost, just courage, step into the flame.
ILCA forever, come and change your name. 1 hour, 5 nights, knowledge is the weapon.
Will you show up or stay blind in the dark?
Show up in the shadows, let your light be known. 5-day challenge where your power's grown.
No cost, just courage, step into the flame.
ILCA forever, come and change your name. ILCA, come learn in the dark, so you can shine in the light. Ooh, ILCA, let's fly.
9 to 5 stress got me losing my flame. Bills on my shoulders, tired of the game. Heard about a challenge that could change my fate. 5 nights of crypto, couldn't wait. What's blockchain wallet, how to stay secure. ILCA teach me truth so pure. Free book drop, 10 lessons on go. 1 hour a night, time to grow what I know.
Show up, don't be afraid. 1 click, your moment made it. No fee, just hard and driving. ILCA, come feel alive.
5 days to fly, 5 nights, 1 dream. ILCA gon' show you how to build your team. Crypto on your mind, time to change your side. 5-day challenge, let your future rise.
5 nights to grow, 1 hour just shows. Free book, free game, watch your money flows. ILCA, we lift you high. 5 days to fly, come and touch the sky.
fly. 5 nights, 1 dream. ILCA gon' show you how to build your team. It's crypto on your mind. Time to change your size. 5-day challenge. Let your future rise.
5 nights to grow, 1 hour just shows. Free book, free game, watch your money flow. See ILCA, we lift you high. See 5 days to fly, come and touch the sky.
No cost, no excuses. Just education and elevation. 5 days to fly, 5 nights, 1 dream. ILCA gon' show you how to build your team. Crypto on your mind, time to change your size. 5-day challenge, let your future rise.
5 nights to grow, 1 hour just shows. Free book, free game, watch your money flow. See ILCA, we lift you high. See 5 days to fly, this your time, don't lie. 5 days, ILCA, let's fly. Show up or stay broke, 5 nights, 1 choice. Crypto in your heart, let me hear your voice. No cost, no fear, we just break that chain. ILCA running through your blockchain brain. Show up or stay broke, 5 nights, 1 choice. Crypto in your heart, let me hear your voice. No cost, no fear, we just break that chain. ILCA running through your blockchain brain.
They clock your time, we unlock your mind. From a 9-to-5 box to the power we find. Blockchain basics, wallet tricks. Learn how to protect your crypto bricks. 1 hour a night, 5 nights, no fee. Brandon Ivey dropping gems, real LCA OG. Ebook in your hand, Bitcoin for beginners. 10 lesson back-to-back, turn viewers to winners. Red candles crash, but our knowledge compound. We don't chase pumps, we build underground. Security first, watch for hackers and fraud. Protect that wallet like a knight with a sword.
Show up or stay broke, 5 nights, 1 choice. Crypto in your heart, let me hear your voice. No cost, no fear, we just break that chain. ILCA running through your blockchain brain. Show up or stay broke, 5 nights, 1 choice. Crypto in your heart, let me hear your voice. No cost, no fear, we just break that chain. ILCA running through your blockchain brain. Moonlight calls with a vision so strong. You don't need to know much, just don't stay wrong. We answer the questions, what, why, and how. Crypto for the people, we teaching you now.
From what is a wallet to how do I buy? Where do I store it so scammers can't pry? No MLM tricks, no products to sell. Just pure education so you do well. Beginners to advance, we open the gate. 5 nights free so you choose your fate. Miss it if you want, stay lost in the fog. Or show a boss up, walk out of that job.
Show up or stay broke, 5 nights, 1 choice. Show up. Crypto in your heart, let me hear your voice. No cost, no fear, we just break that chain. ILCA running through your blockchain brain. Show up or stay broke, 5 nights, 1 choice. Crypto in your heart, let me hear your voice. No cost, no fear, we just break that chain. ILCA running through your blockchain brain. ILCA, let's fly.
9-to-5 stress got me losing my flame. Bills on my shoulders, tired of the game. Heard about a challenge that could change my fate. 5 nights of crypto, couldn't wait. What's a blockchain wallet, how to stay secure? ILCA teach me truth so pure. Free ebook drop, 10 lessons on go. 1 hour a night, time to grow what I know.
Show up, don't be afraid. 1 click, your moment made. No fee, just hard and drive.
ILCA, come feel alive.
5 days to fly, 5 nights, 1 dream. ILCA gon' show you how to build your team. Crypto on your mind, time to change your side. teaching how to hustle with a digital brain, how to buy it, how to keep it when the markets sway. Knowledge is the weapon and we use it every day. Hackers in the dark, but we shining in the light. ILCA, protect your back, keep your future tight. Beginners or pros, we don't care where you start. 5 nights, come learn the art.
Show up, don't think twice.
Freedom comes with sacrifice. Just log in, elevate. 5 nights can change your fate.
5 days to fly. 5 nights.
One dream, ILCA gon' show you how to build your team.
With grip on your mind.
Time to change your size. 5-day challenge, let your future rise.
5 nights to grow. 1 hour, just show. Free book, free game. Watch your money flow. ILCA, we lift you high.
5 days to fly. Come and touch the sky.
No cost. No excuses. Just education and elevation.
5 days to fly. 5 nights.
One dream, ILCA gon' show you how to build your team.
Crypto on your mind.
Time to change your size. 5-day challenge, let your
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first ILCA 5-day challenge of 2026. My name is your Queen Connectress, Miss Marnita Casa, and I will be your humble hostess for this evening. Now, there is something that I always like to say, and that is we totally understand there are so many different things you can be doing with your time. My goodness, the nighttime is the right time for family and for preparation of the next day. So the fact that you guys decided to come on out and hear what we have to say, believe that makes us so very happy. So again, thank each and every one of you for being here. Now, before we get started, we absolutely have to acknowledge what today is. Today is the birthday of a very, very beautiful and powerful man, Dr. Martin Luther King. And before we get started, I would love to read an excerpt that our educator himself had put out on Facebook from Dr. Martin Luther King. And what it says is, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only the light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And right now, in today's day and age, and with everything going on, that is one statement that I think each and every one of us needs to absolutely take to our heart. So happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And thank you guys so much for coming and spending this evening here with us right now. As you can see, I am super, super excited. You guys are going to hear some powerful, oh my gosh, some powerful information. What are we learning about today? We are learning about the river of money. Yes, and if you're not familiar with that term or what that is, I need you to pay extra close attention. Let me tell you something. I have been with the Ivy League Coaching Academy for 5 years. And the things that I've learned in these past 5 years, my goodness, if I knew them 20 years ago, I would be a billionaire right now. But everything happens in its own time and it happens for a reason. So for me, being in ILCA, being in this coaching academy was like giving me a second chance at life. I now have the knowledge that I should have had back then. I now know what to do with money. I now know what money truly is. And now you all have the same opportunity to maybe start over or maybe just do it a little better than you've been doing it before. So here at the ILCA, the Ivy League Coaching Academy, it is our duty, it is our plan to make sure that we help you reach every goal that you have in 2026. And how are we doing this? Well, most of you already know that we have established a new book club that will be starting February 8th, where we are able to openly discuss, learn from each other, and grow through reading, which is another form of us getting educated. We have new and improved memberships that are bringing you more value. You are having more time with the educator himself, and you have more opportunities within our community. And last but not least, we are doing so much more behind the scenes that you guys aren't even ready for yet. So what I need you to do tonight is grab a pen, grab a paper, because we have some very special things planned for you coming on Monday, and I'll let the educator tell you about that. So let's go. Now I see all my VIPs are in the house. You guys are giving me that positive energy, and I love it. You guys already know the routine. As you come on in, please type your name and where you are from in that chat box. That way I get a chance to tell everybody who is on the Zoom call with us. And if you have the opportunity, please turn on your cameras like Mr. Clairvaux. Hey, baby, I see you. Like Clairvaux. That way we get a chance to see all your faces and see those wonderful smiles. And I see our folks on YouTube. Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, thank you guys so very much for being here. I see we have about 35 people on YouTube. Mwah! Thank you guys all for taking the time to come and hear what we have to say. Now, for our VIPs, I'm going to go ahead and start shouting you guys out. First up, of course, is Mr. Clairvaux Albert coming on in from Connecticut. Hello, sir. He's listed as owner tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I see Miss Carla Rigo. Hi, baby. We haven't seen you in a while. It's so good to see you. She's coming on in and she's representing St. Louis, Missouri. And Miss Carla Rigo is also one of our partners. So if you want to get a membership or if you want to get courses, you're more than welcome to go to her website, which is BeBestYouCan.com. Again, that's BeBestYouCan.com. Carla, thank you so much for being a part of our community. I see Midge Woods is in the house. Hi, baby. I'm glad you made it. Thank you so very much for being here. Of course, my angel, her name is Miss Joyce Easley. Hi, baby. She's in the house. It is always good to see you, Queen. I see Miss Samantha Studebaker is here. Hi, baby. How are you? Let me tell you something. Miss Samantha is actually on our round table, and she and a few other people are putting together some very, very powerful things for ILCA. So, Miss Samantha, we appreciate you. Thank you for everything you got going on. There is Miss Amy Hazel. I see you, love. Miss Amy Hazel is one of our newest crypto certified. Wait, Miss Amy Hazel is one of our newest, but no, we got to give it up to Miss Patty Geis of San Diego. Woo, woo. Miss Patty Geis. There she is. Hi, baby. She completed her certification. She is our new certified student, and we are super proud of Miss Patty Geis. She said it. She was like, look, I'm next. And she wasn't like, She made that happen. Miss Patty, thank you so much for being a part of our community. We are very proud of your progress, girlfriend. Keep it up. I see we also have Elton in the house. Hi, Elton. Hi, baby. I'm so glad you made it. There you are. Thank you so much for being here. It is always good to see your smile, sir. I see Miss Janelle Appling's in the house. She is representing Colorado. Mr. Kenny Taylor's in the house, representing Los Angeles, California. He is also on our round table, and he is putting in that work for our community. I see Miss Gina Muhammad is here. Hi, Gina. She's representing Philadelphia. It is always good to see you. Of course, Miss Rita B. Miss Rita was our first female certified student. So we definitely want to give that up to her. Miss Rita, thank you so much for being here. And she is representing San Diego, California. Now let's talk to you two. You guys are up there bringing the heat. Hello. We have Robin Jordan, 2920 here. Hi, Robin. How are you? I have Daryl Hills in the house. Carolita's in the house. Hi, baby. How are you? I see we have Rep 6432. Oh, hi, baby. She said, Kia. Hi, Kia. How are you? We also have Ralph Raymond's in the house coming on in from Los Angeles. Quadri Muhammad is in the house saying good evening, all. And we also have Tekupura saying hello. Hi, baby. Everybody's here. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Again, thank each and every one of you for joining us for our January 2026 edition of the ILCA 5-Day Challenge. My name is your Queen Connectress, Miss Marnita Casa, and I am your humble hostess for today. I see you, Miss Judy. coming on in from Canada. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Now, it is my honor to introduce you all to a man that for over 25 years dominated the direct sales industry. His cryptocurrency education is used by companies and universities worldwide. Now, for over 9 years, he dedicated his life to learning about blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, but he didn't stop there. He decided to go out and share this information with the masses, and this was done by putting on fun and exciting Bitcoin boot camps nationwide at no cost. He has built thriving communities and wonderful platforms like you see before you now. So without further ado, it is my honor to introduce you all to Mr. Brandon Ivey.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you, Miss Casa, for that wonderful introduction and being our hostess tonight. And if you guys don't know, Miss Casa's been here from the beginning, and this is our fourth year of doing the 5 day challenge. Our very first one was January 2022, and that recording is still out there. You can go back and see Miss Casa introduce everybody and see how far she's come from then to where we are now. So thank you for being a part of this journey, integral part of what ILCA is all about, and welcoming everybody and doing it with a smile on your face when not all times you're feeling good, yet you still show up. And even though you're a mother, a wife, and you've got your own business as well at the same time. So thank you for everything that you're doing and getting us all set. And everybody else, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited to be here. Thank you all of our ILCA members that's here on Zoom with us, and all the people that are watching us for the very first time that's on YouTube. This is an exciting time, our first 5 day challenge of 2026. And we are starting off the year with a lot of excitement taking place because one, we have a brand new partnership that ILCA has with a company called eEstate. This is taking advantage of tokenized real estate. In fact, the theme this week is all about tokenized real estate. There's three key words you're going to hear in 2026 on repeat. Every time you turn on the news, every time you look at your TV and read newspapers, you're going to hear about artificial intelligence, stable coins, and tokenization. And every single asset on this planet is going to be tokenized. Let me give another pop quiz real quick to all of my people. Type in the chat box, how much money is on the table to be tokenized for real world assets? Oh, Joyce got it first. $867 trillion. Okay, let me ask another question. How much of that is in real estate? Type that. How much are we talking? 16 trillion. Joyce, oh, I thought you would got that one right, Joyce. 16 trillion. Now, this one might be a little bit difficult, and I might even have this one off. How much is actually been tokenized? Anybody know that number? How much has actually been tokenized and rising? Judy says 16 billion. No. Anybody getting close? And even if I get it wrong, correct me, but it's around 25 to 27 billion out of 16 trillion. Okay? So that's why our theme, not only this month, but really for the rest of the year, is going to be tokenized real estate and tokenized everything. Make sure those of you on eEstate, you don't want to miss my training on Wednesday afternoon, because we've been covering some things in Crypto Talk oh my goodness, phishing scams and pig butchering. You don't want to miss that. But anyways, welcome all of you that's here brand new. And if you don't know who we are, what we're about, or who I am, it's got to let you know. I've been in the direct sales industry for 26 years at the end of this year. I've done it all. I've seen it all. I've made money. I've lost money. But in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day today, I had my own Freedom Day also. And that was July 13th, 2012. That was also, it was a Friday. Yeah, Friday the 13th. And it was my birthday. And why is that so exciting to me? That was my Freedom Day. Not because that's the day I was born, because that's the day that I fired my boss and walked off my job, and I have never looked back since. You don't know freedom until you can wake up when you're finished sleeping, until Monday morning rolls around, and you don't have to jump up to go off to rush hour traffic, to go to a job you don't like, to work with people you can't stand, to eat lunch at 11 when you're hungry, or 12 when you're hungry at 11, to ask for permission to go to the bathroom as if you're a child, knowing you're going to do this for the next 40 years of your life, only to retire broke, depending on family, government, and friends by the age of 65. How about retiring at the age of 36? And the rest of of your life is what you choose and wish for it to be. That was my freedom day. And everything that I've done since has been in the goal of showing others how to achieve that same goal, understanding what our goals are. This is New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. And everybody always does their New Year's resolutions. And what are the top two resolutions that people put in? Lose weight and make more money. I can't help you on the lose weight part except get your gym membership and all that, at least yet. But the second part, make more money. Everybody wants to make more money. The problem is most people don't know how. And ILCA is created to open the door to introduce to you a brand new industry, an industry that is changing the world literally, not figuratively, but literally. It's going to have a bigger impact on the world than the internet did, where every single one of you are going to be involved, whether you like it or not. And it's going to show you how to get yourself positioned in this industry so that you can earn rewards and money from this industry. So it's not about you want to make more money. It's more about how are you going to do it? Because most people came into January with a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty and doubt. You don't know what's going on in the world. Inflation is high. Jobs is hard to find. You're not getting raises on your job. Some people are losing their jobs. Going to the grocery store is more expensive. Cost of living is big. And one of the main words is called affordability, that the president says is a hoax. But every time you get that paycheck and you go to spend and buy stuff, you realize that it is a huge problem. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. See, ILCA is here not just to show you how to make money, but it is here to educate you on the why and to make sure that you're positioned in an industry that I like to call recession proof. That no matter what the economy does, no matter what's going on geopolitics around the world, no matter what happens on your job, you're in a position where you have a source of income that's coming in that cannot be touched. Why? Because Bitcoin, as Bill Gates said in 2014, is freedom. You see, the first time I heard of this was in 2010, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was nothing but monopoly money. I didn't think it was real. I didn't buy my first Bitcoin until 2016, and I definitely still didn't know what it was. I didn't decide to try to learn about this until 2017. And in May of 2017, I learned two things that changed my life, changed the course of my career. I walked away from the direct selling industry and said, I'm going to be in the digital space. I need to learn this. I learned one, blockchain technology is going to disrupt every single industry on the planet today, whether you like it or not, believe it or not, trust it or not, your opinion of it is irrelevant. The second thing that I learned is that cryptocurrency represents the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind for the most amount of people. And that last part is important, the most amount of people. That means there's no barrier of entry. It doesn't matter where you were born, what language you speak, the color of your skin, whether you have a college degree or not, whether your daddy owns the company or not, whether you have a GED, none of that matters. All that matters is that you have three things: a cell phone, access to the internet, and a willingness to learn. And I spent 6 months teaching myself about this space because there was no ILCA. There was no other education program out there except YouTube and Google. And I do not advise you to do that. But that's what I did because that's all I had. I spent 6 months and I learned two things. Half the information that I was receiving was wrong, and the other half was outdated because you can't ask it questions and those videos never update. But after 6 months, I finally felt I had enough information to jump into this space. Now, my goal was to jump into the space with $250,000 of my knowledge and education. However, due to circumstances based on real estate, actually, it's the irony of this coming back full circle. I only had $30 when I began, August 2017, one of the lowest months of my professional career. And I rarely share the story on how I got to that point, but I am going to share it in Miami in 2 weeks. So those of you that's going to the eState Miami event, you're going to hear me share a story that I rarely ever share. But you got to be there to hear it. But I started with $30, but I had my education and knowledge. And because of that, I was able to flip $30 into six figures in 3.5 months. And after Bitcoin reached an all-time high of $20,000 December 17th, 2017, and it started to come down, I actually made more money when the market was going down than when it was going up. And because of that, people started to ask me, "Hey, Brandon, can you start teaching about this crypto stuff? Can you create courses? Can you consult for our team?" And I started to consult for multiple companies, and I started to create white label courses for those different companies. I was contacted during the COVID era from a university in Nigeria, the UNE Learning Center, that said, "Look, none of our students can come to class. We have everybody doing remote learning. Can you create, can we use your courses and part of our curriculum?" And I started doing that for years. And then I realized something, and this is why if you watched my live I did today, and oops, I did it again, kick the hornet's nest. A lot of these companies never actually wanted crypto education. They wanted two things. One, they wanted me and for what they thought I could build in their company. And two, they wanted to have the appearance of offering crypto education. And so that old saying, if you want something done right, do it yourself. And 4 years ago, we launched ILCA to provide quality crypto education, more than just in videos, but live day-to-day ongoing learning, because this is not a space that you can just read a book and then you're done. This is live. It is rapidly changing right before our eyes. I do crypto talk every morning, and I learned something this morning that I didn't know before. I am not a crypto expert. I'm just crypto versed. That's a difference. And the goal is to arm all of you with enough information and knowledge so that you can make an informed decision on which direction you want to move, into how to build your portfolio, what to do with money that you make, how to flip it, how to have it work for you. And my goal this year, passive income using tokenized real estate. There's a difference between residual income and passive income. There's a difference between making money like a job, working out, going out there to recruit everybody every day and sell a product, and making money because your money is positioned in assets that's generating money every single day, whether you get out of bed or not. That's the direction we're moving into. And so let me go ahead and share screen and show you what this is all about and tonight's lesson of the River of Money, screen 2. So the name of our company is called Ivy League Coaching Academy. It is more than just learning about crypto. It is all about coaching, mindset. That is, I have the whole division about mindset. Before I was even in crypto, I was known as the mindset business coach. Companies would pay me $5,000 for a weekend just to come out and preach about mindset. One of my biggest mentors is Jim Rohn. And one thing that he always says, or used to say, was, you can't control the things that happen to you in life, but you can control how you handle it, how you move, making the right decisions, understanding the secret. That was a whole nother topic that we talked about. So Ivy League Coaching Academy. And the first thing that we do when you recognize that you do want to make more money, you have to be honest with yourself as to where things are right now. A lot of people think, things are not that bad. Things are, okay. Maybe, I hope things are going to turn around. We're in America, right? The richest country in the world. Let me show you guys a couple of things. Take a look at this. Ooh, let me make sure I have audio on. I don't want to make that mistake. I did that last month and I did not have the sound on. Go figure. All right, let's try this again.
America, the land of opportunity. We've all heard that phrase. But what happens when the opportunities dry up? What happens when the gap between the rich and the poor becomes a chasm? We're seeing it now. More and more Americans are falling into poverty. This isn't about laziness, it's about a system that's rigged against them. Wages are stagnant, the cost of living keeps going up, and the safety net that's supposed to catch people when they fall is full of holes. We need to ask ourselves some tough questions. Why are so many Americans struggling? What can we do to create a more just and equitable society? The answers matter. The future of our country depends on them. Let's talk numbers. In America, millions of people live below the poverty line. That means they struggle to afford basic necessities like food, housing, and healthcare, and the numbers are going in the wrong direction. Poverty rates have been increasing. More families are struggling to make ends meet. This isn't just a problem for the poor, it's a problem for all of us. When so many people are struggling, it weakens our economy and our communities. We can't ignore these statistics. They paint a bleak picture of the reality for many Americans. It's time to face the facts and start working towards solutions. Here's a fun fact that's not actually fun. The gap between the rich and the poor in America is wider than ever. The wealthiest Americans are seeing their fortunes grow, while everyone else is struggling to keep up. Wages have stagnated for decades. That means people are working harder and longer, but their paychecks aren't keeping up with the rising cost of living. Meanwhile, the costs of healthcare, education, and housing continue to skyrocket. Something's got to give. This level of economic inequality is unsustainable. It creates a society where the American dream feels increasingly out of reach for too many. We need to find ways to create an economy that works for everyone, not just those at the very top.
Not just those at the very top. Oh, you guys are seeing a double screen? Ah, I stopped sharing screen. I clicked screen 1, not screen 2. Always, this never fails. I will get it right. All right, you guys see just one screen now, right? We all good? Now, here's the thing. What Americans believe wealth distribution actually is so much different than what it actually is. This is why I say that you have to be honest with where you are today so that you can move better and make better decisions for the future. And hope is not a strategy. Just hoping one day things will get better. Because here's the deal. I'm sorry to say this to you. Things are going to get worse. But a lot of people began 2026 and are in a position that this is going to be the best financial year, business year in their lives. For most everybody else, it's going to be the worst. There's not going to be a middle ground. Okay? It's the haves or the have-nots. But let me tell you or show you what the actual wealth distribution is in America. Take a look at this.
There's a chart I saw recently that I can't get out of my head. A Harvard business professor and economist asked more than 5,000 Americans how they thought wealth was distributed in the United States. This is what they said they thought it was. Dividing the country into 5 rough groups of the top, bottom, and middle 3 20% groups, they asked people how they thought the wealth in this country was divided. Then he asked them what they thought was the ideal distribution. And 92%, that's at least 9 out of 10 of them, said it should be more like this. In other words, more equitable than they think it is. Now that fact is telling, admittedly, the notion that most Americans know that the system is already skewed unfairly. But what's most interesting to me is the reality compared to our perception. The ideal is as far removed from our perception of reality as the actual distribution is from what we think exists in this country. So ignore the ideal for a moment. Here's what we think it is again. And here is the actual distribution. Shockingly skewed. Not only do the bottom 20% and the next 20%, the bottom 40% of Americans barely have any of the wealth. I mean, it's hard to even see them on the chart. But the top 1% has more of the country's wealth than 9 out of 10 Americans believe the entire top 20% should have. Mind-blowing. But let's look at it another way, because I find this chart kind of difficult to wrap my head around. Instead, let's reduce the 311 million Americans to just a representative 100 people. Make it simple. Here they are: teachers, coaches, firefighters, construction workers, engineers, doctors, lawyers, some investment bankers, a CEO, maybe a celebrity or two. Now let's line them up according to their wealth. Poorest people on the left, wealthiest on the right, just a steady row of folks based on their net worth. We'll color code them like we did before based on which 20% quintile they fall into. Now let's reduce the total wealth of the United States, which was roughly $54 trillion in 2009, to this symbolic pile of cash. And let's distribute it among our 100 Americans. Well, here's socialism, all the wealth of the country distributed equally. We all know that won't work. We need to encourage people to work and work hard to achieve that good old American dream and keep our country moving forward. So, here's that ideal we asked everyone about. Something like this curve. This isn't too bad. We've got some incentive, as the wealthiest folks are now about 10 to 20 times better off than the poorest Americans. But hey, even the poor folks aren't actually poor, since the poverty line has stayed almost entirely off the chart. We have a super healthy middle class with a smooth transition into wealth. And yes, Republicans and Democrats alike chose this curve. 9 out of 10 people, 92%, said this was a nice, ideal distribution of America's wealth. But let's move on. This is what people think America's wealth distribution actually looks like. Not as equitable, clearly, but for me, even this still looks pretty great. Yes, the poorest 20 to 30% are starting to suffer quite a lot compared to the ideal, and the middle class is certainly struggling more than they were, while the rich and wealthy are making roughly 100 times that of the poorest Americans, and about 10 times that of the still healthy middle class. Sadly, this isn't even close to the reality. Here is the actual distribution of wealth in America. The poorest Americans don't even register. They're down to pocket change, and the middle class is barely distinguishable from the poor. In fact, even the rich between the top 10 and 20 percentile are worse off. Only the top 10% are better off. And how much better off? So much better off that the top 2 to 5% are actually off the chart at this scale. And the top 1%, this guy, well, his stack of money stretches 10 times higher than we can show. Here's his stack of cash, restacked, all by itself. This is the top 1% we've been hearing so much about. So much green in his pockets that I have to give him a whole new column of his own, because he won't fit on my chart. 1% of America has 40% of all the nation's wealth. The bottom 80%, 8 out of every 10 people, or 80 out of these 100, only has 7% between them. And this has only gotten worse in the last 20 to 30 years. While the richest 1% take home almost a quarter of the national income today, in 1976 they took home only 9%, meaning their share of income has nearly tripled in the last 30 years. The top 1% own half the country's stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. The bottom 50% of Americans own only 0.5% of these investments, which means they aren't investing. They're just scraping by. I'm sure many of these wealthy people have worked very hard for their money, but do you really believe that the CEO is working 380 times harder than his average employee? Not his lowest paid employee, not the janitor, but the average earner in his company. The average worker needs to work more than a month to earn what the CEO makes in 1 hour. We certainly don't have to go all the way to socialism to find something that is fair for hardworking Americans. We don't even have to achieve what most of us consider might be ideal. All we need to do is wake up and realize that the reality in this country is not at all what we think it is.
Let me stop right there for a second. The answer is not, we need to change the system, because you're not going to be able to change the system. It's designed that way, and it was designed that way before you were born. The answer is, how do you become one of the wealthy? And what industry is going to allow that to be possible? You have to understand, the system is designed for you to fail. We're being taught that if you want to have success, you got to go to school, get good grades, and get a good, safe, secure job, a job that will take care of you for the rest of your life. That video is more than 15 years old. It is far worse than that is than today. I followed that American dream system. My parents worked their tail off so that both of their sons can get a college degree. And by the time I was in college following that, I got laid off twice. The American dream now, you need at least 2 incomes in the household just to barely scrap by. When was that system actually great? When did it actually work? Maybe for the top tier of the baby boomers. Maybe. But the 80s came around and they had to keep up with the Joneses. The 90s, they lived off of debt. The 2000s and above, their children are still living at home. The system was designed for you to fail. So if you're in a situation where you feel you're a failure, I want to take that burden off of you. You're not. You were just taught the wrong way. The system only taught you what they want you to know. 70% of jobs in America, even if you do get a college degree and you go out there to the workforce, still don't pay a livable wage. 70%. That means only 30% of the jobs out there, all of Americans are fighting for that 30%. The wealthy aren't fighting for that, because they're the ones who created the system. So what is the answer? Because it doesn't matter how hard you work. Let me sidebar just for a second. My grandfather taught my father something, who taught me something. And they said, no matter what you do, be the hardest worker at it. Let your work for you. Don't ask for nothing. We don't want no handout. All we want is an equal opportunity to work. And if you get an opportunity to work, you work. You put your best foot forward. But he said something else on top of that. He said, even if that means you're a janitor, a street sweeper, an elevator operator, and on this MLK Jr. Day, that is significant because during his day, there were only limited jobs available for people who looked like me. No matter how smart we were, no matter how much education we could have got, the system would not allow us to have anything better than that. And my grandfather still said, you be the best at it. Let your work speak for you. And that's exactly what my father did. And my father worked for a company called Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, got hired on as a summer intern, only being able to wash cars, the company cars, and drive execs around town because they had a hiring policy against minorities. No minorities could be hired. He broke that glass ceiling and ended up becoming the CEO, or they call it general manager, which is like a CEO of the company. He actually lived that American dream where 1 in 100 make it. Worked for the same job for 43 years, but that wasn't true for everybody else. So he lived by that model, work hard, and that's what he taught his sons. However, I learned something else. It's not about how hard you work, it's about how smart you work. So I took the same concept that my grandfather taught my father, who taught me, work hard at whatever it is that you do, but I added to that. But I'm going to work smart. If I'm going to put all that energy out, I'm going to put it in an industry where there's an unlimited amount of money that I can make, where there's no barrier of entry, where there's no boot on my back and somebody telling me I can't get it just because they don't like me, they don't like the color of my skin, they don't like where I was born, the language I speak. None of that. All I ask for is an equal, open playing field without trying to put barriers in front of me. And there is one industry that allows that possibility for every single human on the planet. And that leads me to this. Follow the river of money. So now that you know where you come from, now that you know what you're working with, and you want to make more money, then you need to figure out where is money generated, because money is energy. It is not the dollars. It is not the paycheck you get twice a month. That's not real money. That's a leash. In fact, where the real wealth is, most of you don't have access to it. The wealthy do. So where is the river of money flowing? It's in blockchain technology or distributed ledger technology, which opens the door for something called tokenization. And that's when the education starts, because then you have to say to yourself, I don't know what this blockchain is. I don't know what this crypto is. I don't know what tokenization is. I don't know what any of these terms mean, but that is where the river of money flowing. You got to think of money like a river. You ever seen Finding Nemo? You know, my oldest son, when he was a kid, he loved that movie. And in the ocean, that's water, there's underwater river currents where some water is moving faster than the surrounding water, so it's like a river. And it doesn't go in a straight line. It changes course over time. Money works the same way. Since the beginning of time, money changes form because it's energy. It's a resource. And guess what? It's actually unlimited. There's enough resources in the world for every single person on this planet to be a billionaire. It's just, it was caged. It was packaged. It was a system created that only a few would benefit so that they can control the rest of the population. It's designed that way. What the blockchain does is breaks those rules and now gives everybody access. Remember what I said? All you need is a cell phone, access to the internet, and a willingness to learn, because there are no barriers to prevent you. This is a technology that is not controlled by a government, is not controlled by a business, is not controlled by a bank, is not controlled by a CEO. So it doesn't matter religion and politics and any of those things that people have hangups about. It's based on math and technology. But here's what the wealthy people do, because the river of money has changed course multiple times. The wealthy people who are already making money and benefiting from the direction of the current river, once they realize it's about to change course, they tell you that it's illegal, it doesn't work, and it's a scam, while they pick up their anchor. Think of it, they've got boats. Think of it this way. There's boats and tankers in the middle of the ocean. But only wealthy can afford that. And money is fish. And they're fishing for the money. You are, on the other hand, you can't afford to have the boat, so you are on the shoreline with your little fishing rod. That can only go so far out. And most of the people are on that same shoreline as you, fighting over the little bit of fish when all the big fish is further out. And then the river changes course. And the wealthy just pull up anchor and they float in the new direction of the river. But you, from where you're standing, the water starts to recede and it goes down and then it's muddy. And then you realize, I got to trudge further out to get more fish. Have you ever walked in wet sand before, or mud? Every step you take is heavier. It harder. And you're like, man, I'm putting in so much energy. I'm working so hard, yet every step is harder and it's less fish. And you're fighting more people for a smaller pond of fish, not realizing the wealthy keep getting further and further away because they're in a boat. That is taking place right now. The wealthy are on the move and you don't even realize it's going on. BlackRock, Larry Fink, the warning signs. I mean, and it's happening in plain sight. In plain sight. So the answer to your situation is follow the river of money. Put yourself in a position to be diversified, to have that passive income coming in, and then what to do with it when you have it so that eventually you can keep buying a bigger boat and keep moving in the flow of the direction and stop walking in mud, in wet mud and sand, like quicksand. Like you feel, man, no matter how hard I work, it feels I'm always drowning. But let me tell you about a family that you all should be familiar with. Anybody heard of Trump? The Trump family? Let me show you how 5 generations of the Trump family have been following the river of money all the way up to right now. See, everyone thinks Trump got rich from real estate. That's wrong. His $8 billion fortune came from a 130-year-old strategy that his grandfather invented during the gold rush. Let me ask you guys a question. You can type in the chat box. Who made more money? People that was out there searching for gold, or the people that were selling them the tools, the picks and the shovels? Who made more money? 130-year-old strategy during the gold rush. The most underrated business principle in history. No, it's just the one principle that's not taught in public school system or any school system for that matter, outside of the wealthy, and they teach themselves. 1890s Klondike Gold Rush. How many of your ancestors in the 1890s, when it ran out, was out there putting their claim and stake for gold and got rich? See, while everyone rushed to dig gold, Friedrich Trump, Donald's grandfather, who was an immigrant from Germany, did something smarter. He opened restaurants and hotels for the miners. That's a nice way of saying he had salons and brothels. Hey, I keep it real. Okay, he had the hookers out there. He supplied a demand for all the hard workers out there digging gold, and he gave them the entertainment and the liquor. So in essence, he did sell picks and shovels to the dreamers chasing gold. Friedrich didn't gamble on gold itself. He built a sure thing by serving those who did. When he returned to Germany in 1901, he was already rich. But that wealth came with problems. That's right, I said hookers. He was a pimp. Germany kicked him out for dodging military service. Are you kidding me? Family of dodging military service. He was forced to return to America. Then tragedy hit. He died in the 1918 flu pandemic. Now, isn't that ironic? Because his grandson was president 100 years later during the next global pandemic called COVID. So Trump's grandfather died during the 1918 flu pandemic. His wife Elizabeth was left alone with 3 kids and Friedrich's gold rush savings. What happened next? In 1923, she teamed up with her teenage son, Fred Trump, Donald Trump's father. They formed E. Trump and Son. Fred had a vision beyond mining towns. He saw where the real money flowed. Government housing contracts. Who's the richest man in the world? I'm going to type that in the chat box. Did you hear what he just got the last couple of days ago? He got a nice big new government contract using what technology? Artificial intelligence. They want to put the United States government, Elon Musk AI, in all the government systems. He's the richest man in the world, not because he just has some of the best ideas. It's because he got that government money. Fred Trump figured that out too. Government housing contracts. The wealthy always want to talk about that socialism is bad. The biggest socialists are the wealthy themselves because where do you think they're getting their money from? Fred's three-step strategy: buy cheap land outside Manhattan, build thousands of middle-class homes, win World War II housing contracts for guaranteed income. If you think about what was going on after World War II, which was after the Great Depression, your grandparents' houses, the GI Bill and all that stuff, the government gave that to them. So while everybody else was fighting, trying to find jobs, Fred figured out how to get guaranteed income, recession proof. And it worked. By the 1940s, Fred Trump was making millions. Now, some will say he was being a slumlord, but that's neither here nor there. This family was following a pattern. By the 70s, Donald joins the business. Fred avoided Manhattan, too risky. Here's a series that I would encourage you to watch. It's on the History Channel called The Men Who Built America. It's about the American age between 1880 and 1920, where individual men had more money than the U.S. government. Henry Ford, J.P. Morgan, and a bunch. And J.P. Morgan's father, how J.P. Morgan really made a name for himself after his daddy's banking business was the fact that he was the one that invested in electricity. And did you know that his father was against it? His father told him, don't put the company name, the family name behind it. His father said, you need to shut this thing down right now. I mean, their house was the first house in New York that had electricity attached to it. Because his father said it was too risky. But Pierpont Morgan was what they called him, had vision. So Fred Trump said, nah, Manhattan's too risky. Donald, on the other hand, he leaned in on it. He saw where new money was flowing. The river of money. He saw it changing and he followed it. Grand Central Station, tourism, Manhattan revival. He made his move. He bought the rundown Commodore Hotel near Grand Central. Everyone thought he was insane. Everyone still thinks that. But Donald had a principle. Position yourself where the traffic is coming. Position yourself where the traffic is coming. $867 trillion is on the move. Are you positioned in front of it? 16 trillion in tokenized real estate. Are you positioned in front of it? He turned it into the Grand Hyatt in 1980 and entered Manhattan's elite. 58 floors of marble, gold, and ambition right on Fifth Avenue. And the genius move? He lived in the penthouse. He became the face of New York luxury. 1980s, Trump goes on a real estate rampage. Casinos in Atlantic City, the Plaza Hotel, skyscrapers across New York City. His weapon of choice? Debt. There's a such thing as good debt and bad debt. You learn that in coaching. He used assets to borrow more. And then he scaled fast. Those of you in the e-estate community, have you been paying attention to see what the number one guy in e-estate did today? Dropped $100,000. But where did he get the $100,000 from? See, it's one thing when you make money. Do you know what to do with it after you make it? Most people go on a spending spree. They buy stupid stuff. They buy depreciating assets. What did he do? He bought a tokenized asset that's going to bring at least $18,000 a month. which means after 5 months, he just broke even. And the next 13 months or 12 months is profit. Huh. Success leaves clues. Then it all crashed down. Trump's debt hit $3.4 billion. His casinos were losing money. He was broke on paper. Let me repeat that again. He was broke on paper, but the banks bailed him out. Why? Well, to the banks, he owed too much to fail. His comeback? He pivoted from ownership to licensing. Trump hotels, Trump golf, Trump condos. He didn't own most of them, but his name earned millions. Huh. I hope you guys are catching the clues here. Other people built the assets. He took the checks. You guys seeing a parallel here? The Trump family playbook is simple. Don't dig for gold. Serve the gold diggers. Spot where money is flowing. Position yourself at the stream. Build brand, leverage debt, take equity. Most people chase the next big thing. They gamble on trends. The Trumps did the opposite. They followed money, not hype. They positioned themselves where other people spent money. Huh? Brandon, how's the money being made with tokenized real estate? Well, do you know that people rent places? People are paying mortgages and rents on spots. What if you can position yourself to earn every time they're spending for the short-term rentals? Do people take vacations? Are people all up in Airbnbs and all that kind of stuff? Position yourself where people spend money. Friedrich served gold miners. Fred served the government. Donald served status and prestige. Do you see that? 3 generations there. Gold miners, government, status and prestige. 3 generations, one principle. Stand where the money flows. Now here's how I use that same rule. So the question is, what industry is the next generation of Trumps moving to? So who's the 4th generation? Don Jr., Eric, and Barron. What industry are they moving into? Well, according to a New York report, the Trump family has made an estimated $3.4 billion since his first term in office, primarily through ventures like cryptocurrency and investments from foreign entities. Let's stop right there. They created a company called WLFI, World Liberty Financial. When Trump was president the first time, he said that crypto was a scam. Bitcoin wasn't real. Cash is king. It's a whole Ponzi thing. But then something happened after he was not president anymore. He was being indicted on everything. He was found guilty in the state of New York. He was banned from doing business, and no banks would ever lend him money again. What did Trump do? He pivoted. Well, his sons did. They understood and figured out what I figured out, where the river of money is flowing. And they went to the crypto. And now this time he's president, he's saying the complete opposite of what he said the first time around. And why? Because in the first 8 months of him being president, they made more than $3 billion. What took them 130 years to get to $2 billion, they added an extra $3 billion in less than 1 year. And what industry did that happen in? The industry that you're learning about right now. World Liberty Milestones. World Liberty Financial, co-founded by Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, and Barron Trump, started token trading on September 1st. The family gets 75% of the token sale proceeds. They're getting a piece of everything. And do you know, they have their own stablecoin called USD1. Do you know what Eric Trump is talking about and doing right now? He's in tokenized real estate. See, the Trumps never left real estate. They just followed the changes from Fred Trump doing slumlords with low housing to Donald building skyscrapers the traditional way to Eric and Don Jr. now saying, hey, the future is digital real estate. Let's tokenize the Maldives resort. Let's let everybody, not just institutional investors, have a chance to get in on the Trump name. And what's the benefit for them? They now have way more sources to raise funds outside of having to go get a loan from the bank. That's not going to give them any money. Ingenious. Now, make no mistake, I'm not sitting here touting the pros and cons of Donald Trump and his family. What I am sharing with you is that they are following a formula that everybody can follow, and they've been doing it for generations. This is what the wealthy people do. There's a fifth generation of Trumps, from Kai Trump, the kids, Don Jr., Eric's kids. And what do you think they're going to be all into? They're growing up in a world that only knows blockchain technology. This family will be worth $100 billion by the end of this decade if they keep going this route. That's not my opinion. It's just one day Bitcoin's going to be worth $1 million a coin. So knowing what the river of money is, knowing where it is going, don't you think you need to know about it too? And this is what our lesson tomorrow night's going to be about. What is the blockchain? What is distributed ledger technology? Let's get to the basics so you have an understanding on what this is. See, this is the only second time in 4 years that I did the River of Money lesson in the 5-day challenge. And it was as a request from one of our members, Kenny Taylor, who said, Brandon, I invite people to the 5-day challenge, and they may come for the first night or not show up at all because they don't understand or value how important this actually is. Can you give us a lesson talking about the river of money? Can you help people understand in their mind why they better pay attention? Basically, set them up so that they can value when you do go over this information, why it's important to them and why they need to learn about it. But remember, I said there's only 3 things you need to have success: a cell phone, access to the internet, and the third thing is a willingness to learn. Unfortunately, that last part is why most people stay broke. Because half of you that's listening to me tonight won't be back here tomorrow. Prove me wrong, please. And even more of you won't make it till Friday because you have other things to do that in your mind is more important. You only spend time where you see something that's valuable. And I'm telling you that blockchain technology is going to change the entire world. It's bigger than the internet. And you're at the beginning of this revolution, but you're going to find something else more important to do. The scary thing about that is, as this is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and he is a graduate of my alma mater, Morehouse College. We believe in legacy, and we now live in the internet era where everything we do is being recorded. And I'll be damned if 3, 4 generations from now, my grandkids and great grandkids, when they're reading about this time in their history books, and they go back and say, what was my grandpa doing during that time? They're going to know because they can go on YouTube and see every video I've ever done. They can hear all of my audio. They can see what I had for dinner because I posted it on Facebook. What is your descendants going to say about you during this time? You're not going to be able to hide behind history as a nameless and faceless. Everything now is recorded. At least, even if I fail, I know that my descendants will know that I gave it 100% plus. I gave it my all to change our family tree. But they're going to know their family tree changed because of what I did today and the decisions I made today. And the first part is just showing up. By the way, also, when we do our Monday night recap call next Monday, and Miss Casa will be talking to you more about this. We're going to be doing a spin the wheel. You guys love when I used to do that. And we're going to be giving away, I'm going to be giving away $50, well, $10 to 5 winners. And the goal is for you to use that to purchase your first tokenized real estate. Get your foot in the door. Who wants to be a winner? You can't win the game if you don't even play it. Step foot on the game board. I'm gonna at least get you a foot on the board and see it work for you. As a disclaimer, this information is intended for educational and training purposes only and should not be construed as investment advice. As with all financial decisions, you should contact your licensed financial advisor before investing in any financial instrument. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of our night one of our 5-day challenge. Now, normally I would shut off the live stream on YouTube and we would go into Q&A with our members that's here in the VIP side. But I always, for night one, I leave it open so that you guys can see, because this is where the aha moments happen, is when people ask questions. The only unfortunate thing for you guys is that most of the people here on the VIP side, this isn't their first rodeo. So any questions that they might have had, I've already answered for them. But let's see if any of them do have answers. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Casa in a second. But I also, for those of you who do want to be with the cool kids on the VIP side, you can join our ILCA family in our membership section. And guess what? We've got promo codes and discounts for anybody who's an e-estate member, because I got a partnership with them. So I let the CEO, Mr. Brandon Stevenson, know anybody who is in e-estate and wants to further their crypto education beyond what I'm already providing will be able to get our crypto education at 50% off. If anyone wants to join our membership side to get the daily crypto that I do live, you get 50% off for the first month. So we have special coupon codes. So get back to whoever invited you and they'll show you how to do that. So if you do that, you become a VIP member. You're now on this side with us on Zoom with all the cool kids. If you choose not to, that's fine. We will be back tomorrow night, same time, and we're going to be talking about what is the blockchain? Why is the world going crazy over this technology? This isn't a financial revolution. It's a technological revolution. And e-estate's taking full advantage of that with tokenized real estate. So with that, let me turn it on over to Ms. Casa to handle the Q&A.
Wow. Okay, that was amazing. Amazing. You guys, let me tell you something. I've been here from the beginning, and never has a Monday started off that powerful with that much information. Mr. Ivey, thank you so very much. Let me tell you, YouTube is blowing up right now. Okay. Let me just say, Mr. Darren Hill, I love it. Mr. Darren Hill said, I am already a winner for showing up. Man, this was good. Another person, great job, Brandon. Another one, this is valuable information, Brandon. Congratulations, sir. This was a phenomenal session. Thank you so very much for everything that you put into this, because I know it was hard work. Okay, you guys, so this is my favorite, and I mean absolutely favorite part of the challenge, where we get a chance to ask questions and have some answers given to us. Now, before we get into that, Mr. Ivey mentioned that, yes, on Monday, you guys get ready, because we are going to be spinning that wheel of fortune. And what is a fortune? You are going to have some money to be able to put to work to make more money for you. Hello. And if you are not in e-estate, if you win the raffle and you are not registered in e-estate yet and you don't know how to get started, don't you worry. If you're a winner, I will be more than happy to hold your hand and get on a Zoom call with you and get you started with e-estate and get that $10 put to work for you as soon as we can. So we do have a question for tonight. Tonight is the first question, and the question is this. Now, Mr. Ivey said this a few times. What is the dollar amount that is in tokenized real estate. Again, what is the dollar amount? Everybody on the VIP side better get this one right, okay? What is the dollar amount of tokenized real estate today? No, Catherine, don't put it in the, no, you guys, don't put it in the, this is the question for tonight. I love you guys so much. That's the question for tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the link to the form that you need to fill out. It's going to ask you, that's okay. It's going to ask you for your email address. It's going to ask you for your name. And then you just put your answer and submit it. And I will get that. And then on Monday, I will go through all the answers and we will pick out the different people that will be on the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, you guys. So this is the best part. Let's go ahead and get to it. Now, those of you that know the rules, we have 3 rules. The first one is please do not unmute your mic unless you are being called upon. The second one is we only ask for 2 questions unless we have time for more. And the last one is the most important. Babies, there are no silly questions, okay? So if you have a question or you have something on your mind, please raise your hand and I will be more than happy to call on you. Quick question to Mr. Ivy before we get started. Are we taking questions from our YouTube people?
Yeah, they could type it in the chat box.
Okay, so you guys type your questions in the chat box, and then as soon as we're done with the VIP questions, then I'll get to you guys. So first up is the Miss Beautiful Judy from Canada. Judy, the floor is yours.
Hey guys. Thanks. All of a sudden my mic was unmuted. I just want to say, Brandon, that was absolutely awesome. And you know what? I had an aha moment because as a perpetual 21-year-old boomer, I grew up during the day when, Donald Trump was having his heyday and that era in the 80s and conspicuous consumption. But I never realized he was following the river of money. The way you put that together, and I realized that exactly was what was being sold at the time. Michael Douglas and the Gordon Geckos of Wall Street, and he just slid right in there. And I was thinking it was the real estate, but no, it just clicked the way you put that together. He definitely, that was big back in the day. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. And very, very powerful class tonight.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing, Judy. And you've seen, well, we've only done this one twice, but I think you might have heard me do the River of Money before. But yeah, but thank you for sharing that.
Ever since you started ILCA, I've been following you. So
thank you for sharing that, Judy.
Thank you so much for that, Miss Judy. Is there anyone else that has a question or maybe an aha moment?
Question, comment, aha moment.
So I noticed that YouTube is a little behind us and I don't see any questions, but my goodness, Mr. Ivy, they are loving everything that they're hearing. They're saying this is fire. Thank you so much for this valuable information. How can I join the VIP? Now that is the question of the hour, Mr. Darren Hill. I will be more than happy to put the link for you guys to become a member right there in the comments on YouTube for you. So don't you worry. And you guys remember, you have a special code. So you don't want to forget that when you're registering. So I'll go ahead and put that information in there for you now. I learned a lot tonight. Fantastic. So on the VIP side, is there anyone else? Okay, so with that, Mr. Ivy, back to you.
All right. Well, thank you guys again for a successful launch of 2026 for ILCA. We do the 5-day challenge just once a month, open, free for the entire world to take a part in. And tomorrow night, we got great lessons coming up. Tomorrow night is what is a blockchain. Wednesday night, what are cryptocurrencies. Also, Wednesday afternoon for the ESD community, I'm doing a special training on pig butchering scams. We just covered a lesson in the news how one individual lost 240 or 272 $42 million in a scam. It was more more fishing. No, that was pig butchering scam. Last week we did phishing scams. So you don't want to miss that. I've got at least 5 articles that popped up today that's talking about the crypto scams that's going to be happening in 2026. So being aware is the best way to protect yourself so you know what to look out for. I'll even share how if it wasn't for crypto talk, I probably could have got caught up in one scam that had to do with Zoom. It was a Zoom scam and how they could have got me. Even as much as I know, I didn't know that was they was doing that. There was also a lesson we found out about now people are using twin Wi-Fi networks to scam. And I think in last month we did a lesson about security where we talked about avoiding public Wi-Fis, but what I didn't know was how this scam actually worked. And so, yeah, we got a whole lot to cover. And we look forward to you coming out for that. On Thursday night, we're going to be doing a lesson that I have never taught before, not even my VIP Inner Circle ILCA members have ever seen, because every year I come up with new courses. We have 13 total courses right now. The latest one is on stable coins. So we're going to talk about Thursday night, what are stable coins? And then Friday night, we're going to talk about what is tokenization. And then when Miss Casa keeps saying Monday, we always do a Monday night recap call 1 week from today, next Monday. And it's more posted as how do I make money in crypto now? And since my theme is tokenized real estate, what do you think I'm going to be talking about primarily? So you want to, and then we're going to spin the wheel and we're going to give some money away for those of you that would love to fund your very first tokenized venture. So that's going to be on Monday. So we got a whole week of stuff. I hope to see you back. You'd only do yourself a disservice if you don't come back. But if we're going to be here, so you to come back to learn more. With that, thank you guys for being here. Thank all of you on YouTube for showing up. Share with everybody else. If you found this information valuable and important, don't you think that more people should be getting this? Yeah, they just don't know where to go. Make sure you're the one to let them know about it. So with that, Brandon Ivey out. I will see you guys Inner Circle for crypto. Yes. Yeah, Marnita, I am doing crypto talk tomorrow morning. So we'll be back for crypto talk tomorrow morning and not diamond class, wrong week, and our 5-day challenge tomorrow night, day 2. I'm going to end by, do I have any music? Oh, I always have music. What is the next one? I'll go with Show Up and Shine. Yeah, 5-day challenge anthem. All right, let me get that set up and then we're out of here. Advance audio. See you guys tomorrow night. Bye-bye.
5 days. Let's shine.
Tired of that paycheck running your fate. Wanna level your life, but you're stuck at the gate. 5 nights, no cost, that's the ILCA plan. Crypto from beginner to a wealthy new man. What's a wallet, what's a chain? How you keep it secure? Bitcoin for beginners, drop, game so pure. 10 free lessons, just click and arrive. Come alive in the night, let the knowledge survive.
For 1 hour, 5 nights, come reclaim your mind. Money to casa, queen connectress, leading you to shine.
Show up and shine, I'll taste the way.
5-day challenge gonna change your day.
1 click, no fee, let your future align.
Show up, boss up, come grow your mind.
5 nights, unlock your high. Crypto skills for an endless time.
ILCA, education divine.
Show up and shine.
From Brandon Ivey's journey out that 9 to 5 to the river of money where we really thrive. Queen connectress, she connect the dots, guiding every soul to the crypto spots. Learn how to move, secure and tight. Flip that fear into future sight. Beginners or pros, everybody can win. 5 nights free, let the elevation begin. So 1 hour, 5 nights, step into the zone. ILCA, the family you'll never stand
Juanita Casa, the Queen Connectress.
Juanita Casa, the Queen Connectress.
Gather your power.
ILCA, got next.
Show up and shine, ILCA. 5-day challenge, don't you delay. No free book, free game. Watch your life reflect.